Alright, so great.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, man?
What's going on?
How are you, brother?
I'm chilling, man. Trying to stay safe out here.
Yeah, man. How's the family? And how's everybody? Both up here and everybody down there.
Huh?
How's everybody down there and everybody up here?
Good. Trying to stay safe. My people might come out here in a few weeks just to come visit the baby and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they gotta miss her. We gonna we gonna talk about that, Daddy Jose. But yeah, man. First of all, thank you for coming on board and hopping on the Run Up Live series, man. You and I, go back. So this one is really personal. You know what I'm saying, for me. Extremely proud of where you're at, and we're gonna talk about where you're at today, man. Just as a young man, as an athlete, and now with that. So you just finished your junior year at Georgia Tech. Finished off averaging a little over 14 points, 4 assists. You led the ACC and with a little under 3 steals, per game. So congrats on another, great year. But let's go back. All right, let's go back, man. When did you first start hooping? When did you first start playing ball? When did you first start falling in love with the game?
Man, I actually, it's a funny story though. Basketball wasn't my first sport. I was a baseball kid. I was really nice in baseball. Then baseball got too boring for me. I was a little active kid, so I started playing some football, tackle football. And I used to travel all the way to Staten Island. And I was pretty good at it, decent at it, liked it. Really thought that was what I was going to do in high school. I got injured, a really bad injury in my spine. I pinched my nerve. My dad got scared, and he was like, no more football for you, no more nothing. So I was like, man, I don't want to go back to baseball. So I moved to Queens, started playing basketball, and then it was in 3rd grade, man, I fell in love with it. Excited about it, and little 3rd grade I started playing with it, and then 4th grade came, that's when it took over.
It took over, man. Shout out to Jose Senior. It's my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's probably gonna tune in, so shout out to him. He was a boxer. He was a legit boxer.
Yeah. That was his sport. Boxing was him. That he didn't want. He actually was really good in baseball though, really good. And then a situation happened with that's more personal, but and then he went to boxing. Boxing was his thing. I used to box too myself.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to do something different. He said I was pretty good in every sport, but he said basketball was just one I fell in love with.
Now, how did those other sports, especially you, excel in them? Because I remember your dad telling me about how legit you were what's up, Jose Senior? I remember him telling me how legit you were at football. So how did those sports help when it came to you transferring to basketball and you becoming serious about basketball? Do you feel like playing those sports beforehand kind of helped in any way?
To be honest, I don't think so. I think I just the same me that's now, that was the same me back then. I just give it 110%. Football, I didn't like game. I always had one thing in my mind. So I played when I played baseball, even when I was a young kid, I never wanted to strike out. That was the main thing. So I wanted to not strike. When I started playing football, I didn't like getting hit. So I had to do everything not to get hit. So if I didn't get hit, that means I was scoring a touchdown or doing something, And then when it came down to basketball was more. Hello?
No, I'm here.
Oh, basketball was more of a sport that you could go outside and you see so many people playing it. Not that say football and baseball is not, but I literally went to my house, came outside, and it was so many people that just wanted to play. Even if there was a football player, they play football for real, they wanted to play basketball. So that's what it came down to. And then ever since then, it just took over.
That's the great thing about our sport, man. It's just, next to soccer is one of the most universal sports in the world, man. All right, so let's fast forward, man. You're playing, as a young player. You end up, playing for Christ the King in high school. So how did you end up going there for started there in 9th grade, right? So how did you end up there for 9th grade?
Shout out to my uncle Nick Sanchez and my cousin Ariel. Uncle Nick Sanchez is assistant coach on the staff. I was playing in the park one day. My cousin Ariel said, "Yo, I got a cousin that's really good. I had this hair that I got now that I don't got a haircut, but as a young kid." So he played in the park. He said, "All right, I'm gonna go see your cousin." So he came to come see me, and he was like, he can't be 13 years old. Like, I looked at older. He was like, if it's him, then he's good. So he invited me to, long story short, he invited me to Christ King camp. And
eighth grade. I was
eighth grade. No, I was 7th grade, going into my 7th grade year. He invited me to Christ King camp. And ever since then, I just, you know, it went up. And then the Christ King, Coach Alvarado got in touch with me. And then, yeah, and then they introduced me to Renz and stuff like that.
All right, so yeah, we gonna get to the Renz. So you get there in 9th grade. You play what? Freshman. You play.
I played freshman year.
That's me. And now your sophomore year, though, you end up going to varsity. What do you think made them feel like you were ready for that, or gave them the confidence to feel like you were ready for the varsity level?
I don't think they knew what was happening, because Coach Alvarado did tell me in the office. I swear to God on my daughter, he told me, "Yo, you could play. I'd rather you play JV, because you know you're gonna get more playing time. Varsity, I'm not guaranteeing you're gonna play, or I'm not guaranteeing you this. So he didn't tell me to go to JV. He said, if you want a challenge, come to varsity, because varsity, you know, is gonna." So I was like, I just came off winning freshman championship game. I just came out, so I had all the confidence in the world. And I talked to my parents, and he was like, go for it. So, hey, if it could have went left, if I went to varsity, I could have sat down, but he just took a chance on me, and then I'm glad he did, because it changed my life.
And what was that transition like? Like, you know what I'm saying, coming on to varsity that first year you playing with Raleigh, playing with, you know, with Chris, playing with Tyrone. What was that first year coming into varsity? What was that like at first?
I learned a lot from different roles of players on the team. You know, Raleigh was a great player, a great leader on that team. So, you know, I just learned from them. Like, they little roles that they taught me, I try to soak it in. And every time I moved up in a game, or if I see something that they don't notice, I try to do it just as much as they doing it to me. So that team really helped me to just grow as a player who I am right now.
Okay. So the summer of your sophomore year going to the junior year, that's when you and I first got acquainted. I was working at the Christ King camp. You knew I was working with some of the young kids, and you were like, "Hey, Ace, you know, we want to get into the gym." So we got into the gym, man, and I tell you, to this day, you know, all the players I work with, I've never seen anybody go as hard as you went between the weight room, between being in the gym. I remember you came back that year and you were dunking, you know, everything. Like, but me being close to you, I knew what was motivating you, and I knew what was driving you in that year. So for those who may not know you well, talk a little bit about your grandmother and your abuela, and you know, what she was going through and how that impacted you and how that drove you in that year, because you end up in that junior year getting you know, Catholic High School Player of the Year. You led your team in pretty much every statistical category. So talk about that and that impact that what she went through had on your life.
Yeah, it's a little sensitive situation. So, but like, man, if anybody know me, if you don't know me, my grandma is my everything. She's the world to me. She passed away with stomach cancer a few years back, but back then she was just fighting it. Man, my grandma she took care of me. You know, my parents was always there, but she was just a important part, a key in my life. And you know, she always, like, what I learned from her, she was a fighter, man. She, like, I always try to tell myself every single day when I wake up, because she woke up, I seen her wake up every day and fight for her life, because I seen her, she only had a week left. They only told her she had like a week and a few days left. She woke up every single day and said, hey, it's Monday. I got 2 more days. I bet you I beat it. Like, this is what she do every time she wakes up. And I used to wake up and be like, damn, I got workouts. Or damn, I got to go to school. Like, it was situations like that I just looked past it, and I was like, yo, it's bigger things than I should worry about. So and then when it came down to sport, we all bleed the same. If I go head first at you, we all gonna, either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna lose, and I don't like losing. So which way is gonna be, you know? So when it came down to her, all I did everything is for her. And I mean, I wish she was here, but I know she's happy looking down on me, and you know, she's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Yep. And I remember how you used that throughout that year. But what about you know, on the court wise, were you also motivated? Because again, that was a big junior year that you had. Were you also motivated by the fact that the team had changed, and like Raleigh had gone on to finish the senior year in North Carolina, and there was no, you know, that was the leader beforehand. So were you also motivated by, you know, the fact that you had to emerge as the leader for that team?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I didn't want, like, when I finished. Oh man, I went through a tough time just trying to get back. Yo, Ace, you there? Hello?
Yeah, you bet. You bet. It's better now. I got a little connection issue.
Nah. So when it first happened, man, I lost myself. You know, I didn't want to do nothing. Even when I went on the court, I didn't want to play basketball. I didn't want to do nothing. My mom told me, "Yo, you think she really want this?" And I was like, "Nah." So when I went back on the court, I was like, "Man, I might not be the most athletic or might not be the most skilled, but one thing I know my grandma gave me is heart. So I'm gonna just go give it as much as
Yeah.
I can with the sport, and you know, take pressure off my dad back, you know, paying for college, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
take pressure off my mom just worried about me what I'm gonna do, because you know the streets could ruin a kid's life. You know, it was stuff like that. So that's what just saved me. When I was on the court, I just put my mind on, like, if I miss a shot, man, like, I put so much pressure on me. If I miss a shot, that's my family. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't want to miss them. So I just try to do everything perfect, which it could be a big toll on you sometimes. But you know, in the right mindset, it can motivate you in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for the parents out there, you know, me working with kids, I have kids who, like, the littlest mistakes and the littlest errors, things going wrong, drives them crazy. You are definitely one of them. And then you have kids who don't care. And I always tell parents, because they get frustrated when they have kids like that, I tell them, you want your kid to be more like that. You want your kid, you teach them how to channel it, but you want your kid to care a lot about failure and missing because it motivates them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was definitely something that motivated you, man. But yo, so whether it was your grandmother, whether it was the fact that you emerged as the leader, you had an outstanding year that year. I think you finished with like 17 points per game, like a little under 7 assists per game. Got the title for NYC that year. But you didn't stop there. And that summer you went playing for the Wrens. And end up like having a good showing, especially like down to the Peach Jam. So talk a little bit about your AAU experience for those kids out there who are playing AAU. Talk about your AAU experience and how that like helped your development and how that helped your confidence over the years playing with the Wrens and playing in AAU.
you know, AAU could be a tough situation for kids because if you go, I'm not disrespect to any AAU team, but if you go to the wrong one, it could also ruin your career. Like, I'm not saying certain ones, I'm just saying if it could just ruin your career. So I was just blessed to have Rens with me since I started AAU. I was with them I never switched on no other team. I just still with AAU with Rens, and you know they took a chance on me too, man. That playing in AAU is probably one of the best thing ever. It's like being a kid traveling the world for free, like with all your homies and stuff like that. But the competition was on another level. Like it prepared you for whatever next level you was, because AAU almost had a stacked team almost every time with high level profiles. So you had to go past them eventually. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what my mindset. So going to compete against high profile kids was the best situation for me. And Rens just took care of me, and it was just a blessing with them.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that much.
So you had a successful high school career. Obviously, you had, two New York City titles. You had a good showing on the EYBL circuit and through AAU. So after that, what other looks did you have other than Georgia Tech? Obviously, we know that was your choice, but what other schools were like kind of amongst that final list of schools that you were really really strongly considering that people might know you were really thinking about?
My final three was Seton Hall, Rutgers, and Georgia Tech. Um, Other schools recruited me, but that was my final three. So, but hey, I think everyone that knew me, or everyone that just thought about me or the list knew I was trying to stay home. And I told my coach to this day, hey, I thought I was staying home. Like, I'm a big family person. Like, my grandma passed away. My family, is everything to me. So I was like, man, I think I might go to Rutgers. I think that in my head I was like that. So, and then we took our visit to Georgia Tech. Hey, my dad and my mom loved it. They loved the education. They didn't know nothing about the basketball yet, but they just loved the education. So that's one thing that was on my list already. So we took the visit, and my dad put me to the side and said, Rutgers is a really good school, and I understand why you want to go there. But it's bigger things than New York, Like, try to move on and try to, like, because I'm the only person in my family literally left New York to start something new. So he was like, why not be the first, and why not just try to jump into it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely remember that.
So that made my decision a little much easier. And yo, I'm thankful for the decision I make. I'm blessed with the situation I'm in, and man, I can't thank no more anybody else more than this.
Yeah, man. So what was that? What was that transition like going from being a high school player to going to college? Not just from a basketball standpoint, but as as a student, as a young man, and as a basketball player. What was that transition like going from high school to college for those students who those student athletes out there who are gonna make that jump in the next few years?
And anybody that went to this, like going to college, it's gonna be hard. Don't know if anybody tell you it's easy, they lie to you. I'm gonna keep it real as I can. Coming to freshman year, you gotta adjust to being away from home. One thing, basically growing up as a grown man, like basically you gotta live by yourself. You gotta focus on school. You gotta be on practice on time. Nobody waking you up. It's you in your own room. So it's hard. Definitely hard. I definitely had some tough situation, but I also had a great lead on my team at the time, Josh Okogie, like real good. He was my roommate, like literally next door. And you know, whenever he left from practice, he knocked on my door, let's go. And you know, it was tough times though, cause school is hard, and I had some times like I told coach I want to go home, like I cried, like I called my mom. I said, Mom, I need to go home. I can't do this no more. And they just told me what is there to do for you out here that is not going to be better for you out there. And it just stuck with me, and then I just sucked it up, and then here I am.
There you are, yeah. For those who don't know, Georgia Tech is a very, 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 very good academic school. So I know the challenge. I mean, college in general is difficult, but some institutions are a little harder than others, and I know that.
Yeah, this one is a little too difficult. I'll tell you that. But listen, hey, I want to tell you, I don't know you know this, Ace, but your boy made Dean List this year, so that means I had to get a 3.5 or higher. It got to be a 3.5 or higher. So that's what my average was, a 3.5.
Obviously, you know how proud that makes me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know.
So definitely glad to hear that. But in that freshman year, man, you got thrown into. Asking about the first time it snowed in Atlanta.
They told me, on my visit, they told me it never gets cold out here. It never snowed. The first time I'm out here, it snows like it's in New York. It's cold like it's in New York. I'm like, yo, they lied to me.
Yeah, that black ice though. I know is real down there.
Yeah. It definitely gets.
That freshman year though, I mean, you pretty much got thrown into that starting spot like right away, right off the bat. You earned that starting spot, man. So. How was that? Like, how was that pressure? Do you feel like you were prepared for it? Were you nervous at first? Like, what was that transition like, just in terms of coming and just getting the keys to the car right off the bat?
It was definitely a tough but blessed situation. You know, a lot of people don't get blessed with the situation as a freshman starting right away. So, knowing that he said I was gonna start, or just telling me like first game threw me out, man, I was excited and nervous at the same time. And, you know, that freshman year was a little tough for me, but I learned a lot. Like, you know, experience. I never understood when people say, yo, experience really matters during, like the ACC tournament, or, the big-time tournaments and stuff like that. It does, because freshman year, you can see the mistakes that I would do, and then I learned from it as I was watching film, and my coach is telling me, and I just matured as a player, and, you know, just playing as much minutes I was, my coach always told me, you're not a freshman no more. And I was middle of freshman year. He said, you're not a freshman no more. You're a sophomore. Because the time minutes I played in the game, and you know, it just took it made me learn a lot faster than what I was, and it was just a great situation.
You were top. You were amongst the top in the country, freshman wise, in terms of minutes. In that year, I remember that. So at some point during your year, though, unfortunately, you had an injury.
Oh yeah, man.
Injury. I remember my boy texting me. Like I had the game recorded. Like most games, it's hard for me to watch games live. I had it recorded. I was gonna watch. He texted me like, "Yo, you know, you see what happened to Jose?" And I remember like hitting you up, couldn't get you, and I hit your father. Your father experienced what happened. So talk a little bit about that, man. About what that felt like where your head was at, and how you were able to just kind of get your mindset right to start that recovery process.
You know what's funny? Cause when it happened, I remember the shit crazy. I remember the thing like yesterday. It was against Duke on a Sunday night at home. I went up to go get a block. I had the ball in my hand, but I lost my legs in the air, and I either was gonna land on my back or I just placed my landing. So I decided to place my landing, and I broke my elbow. Basically, like you see the scar still.
Yeah, surgery, man. Yeah.
So, but the craziest part when it happened, I didn't know what to do. I didn't cry. You know, they say I'm a little dramatic. I know the comment, but I didn't cry. I just got up and showed my bench because I was so shocked and it was hanging. I'm like, yo, what the heck? But you know what's crazy? And no one really would know about this, obviously whoever was there. But I went back in the locker room, and I just thought it was out of place. I just said, yo, put it back in place so I could go back in. You can ask anybody else. I said, put it back in place so I could just go back. And they tried to put back in place, and that was the most painful part. Putting it back in place, and they put it back in place, and then it came out because it was broke. Like, it was just broken. And you know, I didn't really stress about it at the time because on my way to the hospital, I said, I need my phone. I need to call my parents. I need to call my mom to make sure she knows I'm all right. I called her with all smiles and everything because they was crying. You know, as a freshman, I'm still a kid. You know, I just left my moms and dads and stuff.
I was away from.
I literally called them while I'm in the car going away to the hospital with my full-blown uniform and said, Ma, hey, chill, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm going to be okay. And I had a great spirit the whole time. And then we went to the hospital. They did what they had to do, and they said, I broke it. I'm out for the whole season. That's what hurt me the most, when they said I'm out for the whole season. I only had 7 games left, but still, it was the most painful thing. And the rehab, shout out to anybody that got injured and doing rehab. Like, that is the most painful, mentally strong things people could do. Like, it's so hard and so frustrating at times because you want to give up. I wanted to give up. I got attitudes with the people that was trying to help me. It was just I was so all over the place. I didn't know what to do no more because I thought I was lost my whole career because of one injury. And I thought I'd never be back to normal. And I just had great people, my great trainer, Georgia Tech, like my teammates, my mom, my staff, the coaching staff. Like, they just had me in the right situation. I got back faster than everyone thought, and then I just tried to hop in.
Shout out to Hami.
Yeah, word. He represented real good.
Yo. We talking about Hami in the interview with Kofi as well, man. He said when Kofi was like, when he walked in the AAU, he saw Hami in practice dunking. He was like, oh man, I suck. Hami is one of the best teammates I had. Yeah, yo, shout out to Hami. So going into your second year, like, what was so you finished off that second year. Let's fast forward to the second year. You finished off. You led the team in points, assists, steals, and in the ACC, you led them in like 4 categories. So, what was your mindset going into the second year?
My injury, man. My injury was like the most thing on my mind. I know everyone thought I was gonna have I might just step back and he's gonna have to come back in his groove. And my coach even said, like, I know you're gonna be scared to go for a layup. First day of practice, I'm going there full speed layup, like. And cause my dad and my mom told me a freak accident happened. That's part of the sport. So if you're worried about getting hurt again, it's gonna happen. It's like because you're focusing it so much.
Yeah.
So they had to get a little used to it at the beginning, but I think it made me work a little harder because this arm was a little weak and it was my left arm. And over that summer, I really wanted to work on my left hand, but I really couldn't. So and then I only had a small amount of time to work on it. So that small amount of time I just put so much more harder on that and so much work on this arm. And then when it came down to games, man, it felt like I was back to normal, like nothing happened.
Nice. So again, I want to congratulate you, man, on entering into fatherhood. February, a baby girl came to the world. So congrats on that, man. I remember when Nicholas was born. I remember, when I was an early father, he would be in the gym with his mom with us while we were, getting in, and you would ask me, how does it feel, to be a new father? Now I get a chance to ask, you that, man. Like, how is she? How has it been? You know what I'm saying? Being a father.
Yo, some people said it when I was obviously announced that my girl was pregnant or I was having a kid. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but, a lot of people, had thoughts about it, like, oh my God, like, this might go downhill or something. But yo, it can either make you or break you, and I think this is making me. I think this my junior year, obviously that
Yeah.
passed. Like I had to.
Yes, I mean, if they gonna say anything about you, they're gonna say he handles pressure well, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Because
it was just something like, and a lot of people don't know it's stressful. It's the most stressful thing probably in life because you got to worry about. Now this is something that you got to take care for your whole life. You
yeah.
gotta you gotta represent her right, or you gotta show her the right things. You gotta it's a lot of things that go to it.
Mm.
But also having a mother that's experienced already definitely helped me in a lot of ways because I didn't know this is my first child, so
Mm.
she just helped me so many ways and took so much pressure off my back
Mm.
and made me focus on the season because I
Mm.
knew one thing that in my mind, this is how my daughter's gonna eat and this is
Yeah.
how my family gonna eat.
Yeah.
So the pressure was definitely there, but what was the pressure that I miss a basket? I'm still gonna go home to my daughter and see her smile,
Mm.
or I lose a game. Anybody know me? I hate losing more than I like winning. But I learned from the experience. Like instead of losing, I learned. I didn't lose. I learned the situation. It was stuff like that helped me so much. My daughter helped me like in school. And when they come down to the court, no one could have tell me nothing because I know if I put so much work in it and didn't spend time with my as much as daughter I want, I just gave it 110%. It was the most work I ever did in my whole basketball career.
Mm.
Like all my coaching staff was a little nervous when I pronounced it. Like, yo, I'm pregnant. They was like, oh man, I had little immature moments in practice, so they didn't know how I was gonna handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But it just made me the best person
I,
ever.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. That's why I say, they're always going to say you can handle pressure. I know what I felt like. I know what my boys that who have had kids, what we felt like before that child's coming. And you know that everything you're doing now to make sure that somebody else is good, man. But your third year, man, you finished off being voted all ACC 13. 45th player in the school's history to score 1,000 points, I believe, and one of the few to do it. Like by his junior year, last 11 games, you averaged like 18 points. You know what I'm saying, per game. You had one game against, I think it was NC State, where you had like 26 and school record for 9 like steals. So how much of Nazarene coming like impacted the way that you were going out there and balling?
Man, I went out there and just literally said, yo, I'm gonna kill everything that's in front of me, and I got nothing to worry about. Like I swear, Ace, this is what I really thought every game. I told my teammates, yo, I got the dirty work. You can ask any of them. I said, yo, I don't want to score. I got the dirty work. And it just fell into scoring. It fell into going assists. It fell into, and with all this, a passion that builds up. Everyone say, yo, what do you think before a game? Or what do you think during the game? I black out. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm going to do in the game. It's just, it doesn't come to my head. But just knowing, I swear, Ace, just knowing that, my daughter was a little young to come into the game. She came to one game, I think. And, we just said no more after that. Yeah, with the headphones and stuff like that. So, that one game she came in, I went crazy. It was just like his best feeling ever. I missed a shot. I was like, yo, I don't care. Like, I'm going to make the next one. I know I'm going to make the next one. I make a move. I know I'm going to get to this spot. It was just a confidence that I had was just the most confidence I had in my whole career. And, that NC State game, man, it was just a blessing, man. Like, I could tell my daughter, hey, your dad is in the Georgia Tech history book for 9 steals. Not a lot of people can say that. So it's just stuff like that I want to do my whole career. Like, the senior year is a very important year to me. It's my last year of school. And, I just want to make everything count, Like, everyone obviously hoping to the next level to make it to the NBA. My goal and my dream right now, my long-term goal is to make it to the league. But my goal right now, and I need to focus on, is going dancing with my team. That's the most important goal to me out of everything.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that too, because obviously you guys were going to be, I guess you could say, basically, your suspension. You guys were going to be pretty much going under that, so you guys weren't going to go into tournament, and that's what makes what you did even more impressive. Because some people, I've seen it in the past when people had that suspension, you can see like guys are like, they kind of call in, they don't go as hard knowing that they aren't gonna have a tournament. You did the exact like opposite, right? So I commend you on that, man. But even outside of the court, I know you alluded to the fact that your daughter's mom had, this is not her first child, so that kind of helped. But regardless, you still had to. How was it managing? Like, when did you sleep? Like, how was it managing being able to like have a newborn like that? Your studies as well as like finishing off the season, brother.
First of all, if you without the baby right now, like say if you're just a student athlete, it's hard regardless. Like I don't care what anybody say, it's hard because you're literally not a regular student. Like no disrespect to them, but they literally just go to school and go home and go about their business, even though they gotta still do work. But we gotta go to school, practice, homework, school practice. Like it's just like, but it's a small amount of time to do it. Mm-hmm. And now that I had this. Man, as your parent, like you lose less sleep. It's definitely less sleep. So it was more like, I can't let people think they're right. I can't let people know that, all right, they know I'm going through it, but like, well, what, like, they gonna feel bad for me? Like, nah, I gotta do it. I gotta man up, and this is my choice. I made the the decision is me. So that's what just made my mindset. Like I said, it was very hard at the beginning, but like when my girlfriend, like being experienced with another daughter, it just helped me so much because she took over sometimes and teaching me ways, and like she was mainly trying to make me focus on basketball, and it was so hard for me because we argue. I was like, I want to focus on y'all, like that, y'all my priority now. Like I want to focus on my daughters and you. This is what I really want to focus on. And we had she's like, but your basketball comes, your basketball's here too. And, she just said, go basketball and we're going to be home waiting for you. And then that's what happens. And that's to this day, man. I still go work out and they come home and they're right there.
Dope, man. Dope. So obviously I know your family, very well. You're a very tight-knit, family, man. So just talk about like, your parents and, their impact and how they helped you, and talk about your brother, man, your role as a big brother, and how seriously you take that role as a big brother. So just talk about your family, man.
Oh man, my family is legit everything to me. Like going to my mom, my dad, my brother, my daughters, my girl, like everything to me. My parents did the most best job. Obviously other parents out there, but I think they're the best parents in the world that anybody can ask for. They had my back even when I was wrong. When I was wrong, they straightened me up, but privately to make me, know what I did wrong. And my dad sacrificed so much for me, because he's the only person. He told my mom, yeah, you need to stop working and stay home with me because I was the firstborn. And my mom did that, and my mom traveled with me to baseball games, football games. My dad paid for them. And, we didn't come from a good environment. Like, we had a one-bedroom sleeping all together, and then my dad he stepped up. I saw my dad step up and be a man of the house and show me the right way to just try to, hopefully, I'll be the best to my daughter. And, my mom is the heart and soul. She's our rock. She's the reason why we keep going, too. And my little brother, man, that kid is a warrior, man. I don't know, a lot of people don't know about him like that, but he was a premature. Like, he actually, like, really passed away, like, died on us for a few seconds and then came back alive. Like, it was just so much going on during I was growing up. And, I ain't come from, like, no, like, crazy environment, but I came from environment that you had to stand up or you gonna get knocked down. So that, and then my brother just coming here, and I just had so much stuff on my plate. It was just like, I need to do it for them. Like, they did so much for me. Why I can't go out there and do it for them? And it's just my dad and my mom just hold us so much and high standards that, they just made who we are today. And like family is everything, everything to us. My dad, he represents us so well. He's a hardworking man. My mom represents us so well. She just go out there. She's a soldier. She stood up for me when I was wrong. I'm telling you, I was a bad kid, man. Growing up, it was hard to deal with me. Man. And she was there, man. She was there. Even if I was wrong, I'm telling you, she used to straighten me up. But she also showed me so much manners. And, playing football, look, I told you I played football in Staten Island. Yeah. My dad literally said, I want to take you out. I want you to see where we live at, the situation we're in. And I want to show you a different situation with houses and nice environments. So which one you want to pick? Which one you want to pick? And then, you know, it just made my eye open up so much. And, you know, to this day, I'm 22 years old. To this day, I got my daughter, my girl, my 2 daughters. To this day, I still do it for them. Nothing is for me. Nothing. I do it just for them.
Yeah. So if anybody wants the opportunity to actually like get a kind of a look into your family, man, you know, they can go on YouTube, man, and find the Love Family, man. That's a show that you guys you know, started on YouTube. Love Family spelled 10 VE, right? After your number. I was, you know, watching it, hilarious, man. Especially the last one, like y'all posted. So good job on that. So how did that come about? What inspired you to, you know, to do that, and how fun has that been, kind of doing that?
What inspired was, you know, other YouTubers, like, just nothing like no one like focus on, but we just seen so much people do so much funny things and like challenges. It's like we was doing it, well, we just not with cameras. Like, it was literally like that was us, just not with cameras. Like, we literally like, all right, I go and tell myself, I'm gonna prank my girlfriend, like, but with no cameras. So what made us, it was like, hey, we got like the looks for it, or like, or we got like the, you know, the social media for. I got the social media for it. So why not like try to expand it and make it more out there. So we came out with the Love Family, and you obviously, if you see Love Family is 10-0 BE. So my number is number 10 since sophomore year of high school, and since right now to college, and you know, that's not my favorite number. And my girlfriend eventually started liking it because of me, so we made it into that. And then, you know, the pranks are real cool, man. I suggest everybody that's in the
that last one was hilarious, man.
yeah, you know, it's fun, but it's, you know, it's like I said, it's so much to handle sometimes because of basketball and stuff. But it's so much fun. It makes me don't think about some of the pressure that I gotta go through.
Listen, y'all are young parents, and my son is only 3. I know what that is like. So trust me, what y'all are doing and the fun that y'all are having in it, it is even if you were just doing it for that alone, trust me, it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So continue that, because it's bringing enjoyment and laughter to your life. That's necessary when you're going through that, you know, that struggle that all us parents go through at that stage, man.
Yeah, my coach always tell me, not my coach, one of my teammates tell me, sorry, my daughter's over there.
Right.
One of my teammates always like, yo, you deal with grown man situations right now. Like, this is what, like, you going through this right now, and you know, and you know, it gets frustrating, like I said, but like you said, it's just a good thing to get like take other things out of my head and just try to have fun with it.
Have fun, exactly. All right, so to lighten it up, to finish off, man, what's your favorite food to eat, man? What's your go-to meal?
My mom food, everything that my mom cooks is good to me.
No dish, no one dish.
Rice and beans and pork chop, that's my thing right there. That's my mom. Me personally, that's my favorite food for my mom.
Okay. Music. What about music? What's your favorite music? Or what are you bumping pre-game? You know what I'm saying? What's your go-to?
I'm all over the place, man. Like, I could go to, like, you know, hip hop, rap, or I could, like, Lil Baby, Dre. But I also could go to, like, ever since I moved to Atlanta, I could go to a little countryside. You know, it just switches up. You know, a lot of people don't like to say what they really listen to, but only they really know that they don't want to listen to that hardcore. It's over there. It's little country stuff and that stuff too. But I'm all over the place.
Yeah, now you're down there, so now the
your little southern thing coming out now.
Hey, listen, the music from the A is historic for hip hop, man. The A been giving us, like, you know, music, you know, for high level music. You know what I'm saying, for a long time, yo. So what's one of your favorite things to do outside of hooping, and obviously, like, outside of spending time with your daughter, because I know that has to be number one. But yeah, what other than that?
My favorite thing to do, man, like you said, is having fun with my family. But just, you know, my favorite thing outside of basketball is the locker room of being a college student. Like, college, being with my teammates or having team meetings is like most. I think the most fun time I think anybody can have during this time of going through this process. Like, the locker room is the best thing I think in college basketball. So I think it's that, but like what it really come down to, just having free time and trying to have the most time with my family, because not a lot. You can't really do that when during the season and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So somebody asked, who? So when was the first time you noticed you had a chance to play college ball?
I don't know.
Like
Man,
where you really was like, yo, I'm gonna go. Like
that's a good question. I want to say freshman year championship game at Malloy versus St. Raymond's. I took over. I mean, I went in my bag after that, and winning that. Like if you go see a freshman picture, I got a picture of me jumping in the air, excited, and not saying that my teammates wasn't excited, but I was the most excited one. Like excited one. He
Coach
said,
said Vegas wasn't Vegas freshman year, cause I remember he had told me about that.
"Nah, Vegas freshman year, yeah, I went. We won the championship. We went
So
crazy.
so
We won the championship.
so that was a moment that solidified in your mind that you were gonna be a player. You had already kind of thought about it before that.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm not. Yeah, that's definitely probably the one I like. That probably satisfied me. Like, yo, I actually could really play this game with other players, high level players.
Okay, you got some more good questions here. All right. So somebody said, what drills do you use to enhance your handle? That b-ball machine. Remember when I used to strap you to the I had the belt that had the resistance bands coming on.
Oh yeah.
That's the equipment. Yeah. So,
If you look in my game, I just got a simple handle packet game, I guess, and nothing crazy. I do the simple ones, man. Like, dribble low, both hands, pound the ball, both hands high to shoulders, knees, lows, ankles, and then what's this called? Alternating. And it's simple like that, just trying to make it. But when you do it, try to do it full speed. Don't like I know it's hard at that time, especially when you're by yourself. Like, man, I'm not. This is fine right here. No, try to make it as much powerful and force you could put. Speed is, and if you lose it, obviously you're doing a good job at first. If you lose it, but you try to do as much as you can as fast as you can, and that's basically what I do. There's nothing really special to it.
I remember one of the guards you always talked about in workouts was Chris Paul. And Chris Paul says that. He says that when he joins dribbling drills, when he messes up, not if he messes up, when he messes up, the ball got to fly all over the place. That tells him that he's dribbling it hard enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Chris Paul looked up to him, like, basically since sophomore year of high school. And I love how he went about his game. He works so hard, works extremely. He's under 6 foot, 6 foot, just like me. And, I seen his daily routine. I seen what he was doing. So I try to almost mock my game for him because, like I said, I'm not flashy. I just get the job done.
Yeah.
So Kiko,
by New Life, though, describe your daily routine coming up. Are you a natural or are you a product of working hard? I want to hear what you say first.
Describe your routine coming up, man.
Are you a natural or
a natural? I can't say I'm a I can say I'm a natural, but I definitely put a lot of work in this game, though. Definitely. Like, I gave a lot up for this game. So natural is like more like you just go out there and go crazy. Nah, I didn't do that because I had my downfalls. I definitely, didn't make certain teams here and there, and I got sat back down and I focused on my craft. But I could say I'm a little bit of both because I think you can't teach what I got personally. Yeah. I don't think you could teach the heart that and passion I would give you. Not saying that I'm being cocky. I'm just saying this is something that I personally think that people tell me. Like, I don't think somebody's gonna give you as much as I'm gonna give you. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't get to where you've gotten to without working hard.
For sure.
Before, I mean, that's why I asked you earlier about the other sports and how they do play a part in it. But coming into that year after your sophomore year, I think you would admit, like, you got by off of, like, your heart and that raw talent, right? And then when you got exposed to doing certain things, you're like, oh man, like I could work on this. And then when you put that work in, forget about it. It was a wrap because now you added to that.
I think there's a certain point of time that if you want to reach another level, or like you gotta put as much work as you want to go to that level. Cause you know, some people are gifted in this world, obviously naturally, like just like, all right, he's gonna be a D1 or go to the league eventually. Like no one looked at me like that. So, but when I first came in Crazy King, or first came to the camp, you know, I didn't have like, you know what's, now matter of fact, let me go on. You know what made me good is playing in the park. That would make me good. I never had a trainer. I never did this at what made me good is going to the park and maybe getting my butt kicked sometime, and made me go back again and be like, I need a win. I want to do this, you know, because I'm going in the park, and you know where I lived at, they didn't care who I was. They didn't care what, like they want to do the same thing I'm doing, even though they know they might not have the opportunity. They want to do the same thing I'm doing. So you know, the park made me who I am. You can say that. The park is the reason why I am.
Well,
my toughness.
Yeah, you know that's music to us, man, because that's a large part of why we doing what we're doing is trying to bring that pickup atmosphere back to the development process for kids, understanding that there's so much that you get out of that don't just focus.
If anybody tell you playing runs or ones, like one-on-ones or like 5-on-5, like privately doesn't help you, they're lying. They are lying. Like I honestly think playing one-on-ones, like privately in a private, but like you gotta give it your all. Like it's not like ones-on-one. Like talk your stuff. Like me and my teammate literally did it the other day. Like we go at it like we don't even know each other, but at the end of the day we're gonna shake each other's hand. We gonna make us better. It's not something that we just do for fun, you know. It's just, I think personally, a park game or like person like just going out there and playing against other players wherever is the best thing to make your game expand, because you can work on everything you want in practice, but now when it comes to a real situation, it's not gonna go like that. Your mind gotta work on every situation that happened to you, you know. So I honestly think parks is really, really, really good for you.
Yeah.
Like that's what made me, like, I guess who I am right now, because I went to the park. I used to play with my dad in a park. And you think he took it easy? And you think he took it easy on me? No.
Yeah, man. All right, let's see. We got any other good questions? Let me see. We got any other in there?
We could just wait a little bit, because I think. But yeah, man. If you go in the park and go do your thing.
You had a park right across the street from your house. When when I moved to Queens, I had a park right down the block when I was in Brooklyn too. And then I moved to Queens, and I used to go to school right across the street, like literally walk to school. Like if school started at 8 o'clock, I could leave at 7:55 and get there on time. And then, you know, I think that Queens situation with that park, I had a very good players that talented wise, that, you know, they didn't go as far as they should have went, but they definitely was good. I could tell you one kid off my head that made me guard. The reason why I guard how I guard is definitely the reason why he's one of the reason why I'm definitely how aggressive I am. Because when I tell you that boy, that he went to Holy Cross, and then after that, you know, stuff went sideways. But he definitely, like, he used to kill me, man. He used to put some moves on me, and I don't like getting embarrassed. I don't like none of that. But you know, and then after the game, he just made me who I wasn't at. One day, I got at him, and then ever since then, it was just a competition. So that made you take defense more seriously because you realized, I gotta stop this dude.
Yeah, like it's not fun. Like, you know, when you, like, obviously Dykeman, when you get in your one-on-one, somebody kill you, that's not fun. You're gonna get embarrassed. So, and the thing about this generation, my generation, whatever, if you playing defense and if you get shift one time, it's okay, bro. Like, it's okay. Like, you can live with that, bro. You can see me on YouTube probably getting rocked here and there, but I'm coming right back. I don't care. I'm coming right back. And then he gonna have to guard me. So what's the situation that he gonna just go away with me? Nah, he gonna have to stop me too. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, Coach.
Nah, he wildin'. He talk crazy. What's your record against Jellybeans? Let's talk about that. I'm undefeated in high school.
I mean, listen, he probably saying that. Yeah, we can talk about it. You're probably saying that because you mentioned Dykeman, right? So talk about that New York City, you know what I'm saying, you know, tournament league type situation. Talk about your experiences and playing in some of those, man.
It's a different environment. I tell you that much. You could be the best player in high school, college, Dykeman, in NBA, but it's someone in that park that's not as much as known as you that's gonna give you some type of work. I promise you that. You could be any good you want, any how good you want, but that when it comes to that park, that environment is different. That environment is really, and I tell it like it's not like it's really something serious. Like you could be the best player in high school, best player in college, or a very known high school college basketball player, but when it's in that park one-on-one, I guarantee you somebody's going there giving you. You're not walking through nobody in there.
Now, listen, Coach Frank mentioned that, and I think it's appropriate to address it because I remember our conversations about that in the past. But as that Jellyfin thing was becoming into like hype, and they were that all of that was in the atmosphere. You were killing NY, right? But you weren't being talked about nearly as much as anybody that was involved in that. And your record against those involved in that was undefeated. Like nobody, every time you stepped in the court, not only were you winning, but a better game. So how much did all of that like motivate you, right? Like that.
Because they like shout out to them, man. They probably one of the smartest group ever as a childhood like legends, literally childhood legends. Growing up, just being in that conversation with them, obviously they had the very very hype, not hype, but like known, and they did what they had to do, and I'm glad that how they was because it was so cool going and verse them because it was always a crowd there, and like I say I'm undefeated, but it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that much because those are my guys. Like literally, all of them is my.
They elite.
Yeah, all of them is my homie. Like, and I hope all of them the best. But when it come down to playing, I like they never asked me or they never told me that you want to join Jellyfin. And I'm pretty sure if I could have asked them or like I was very cool with them, I had to do something to. I think they told me I had to get 3 jellies in the game, and it was never in my game to get a jelly. It was never. It's not me. So I said, I'm cool with it. Like y'all keep doing y'all thing.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to all of them. And we just had Jordan on, man. All great players, and the fact that all of y'all kind of came out of this one period of time for New York, man, I think was really really important for New York because people were really sleeping on us, man, and you guys. Guys involved in Jellyfin, you, Hami, like all you guys, I feel like really inspired these younger kids to feel like we can be the next ones to come out of New York. There was a little bit of a gap in between generations of people leaving New York, man. So, so definitely, all of you guys from those years, man.
For sure. Like, I'm telling you, man, they did something special, and during that time of year, they definitely made New York come back on the map. I'll tell you that, and that was just a great situation for them.
So somebody asked earlier, man, what are your goals, man? What are your goals? What are you striving for this guy? Jerm on here, little brother on here.
He says he's up next.
Yes, you are, Jerm. Yes, you are, man. What's your goals, man? What's your goals for the future?
My goal is to be successful in life, no matter what comes to me. Basketball. Like not everyone gets on me, but when they say, yo, where you play at and what year you are. So I'm doing basically 4 years in college. It's okay. That's okay, y'all. It's okay to do 4 years. It's not. First of all, y'all gonna understand how hard is one and done. One and done is the most gifted things in this world because it's so hard to do it. I thought the same thing coming in. I was like, yeah, man, I could do one and done. I know I could do it. No, it's really hard to do. It's like you got to be really gifted and talented to do it. So I'm doing 4 years in college, and I'm happy for it. I'm gonna get my degree, and basketball. So this is my little mature side now on me. So basketball ain't gonna last forever. You eventually, it's gonna hurt you. You're eventually gonna, die down. Your knees is gonna get it's gonna just die down on you. So I'm just looking to be successful in life and making my family hold my family together and just take care of them no matter what. So basketball wise, obviously my goal is to make it to the NBA, but wherever the orange board takes me and makes me money, I'm going there. So that's why the best situation for me. And then outside of basketball, I'm just to get my degree and see what life takes me. I'm just gonna drive that roller coaster.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Any parting words for the people, man? Any advice you want to give to the young, players out there, who are, trying to get to where you're at right now?
Hey man, obviously this is everyone would tell you. Like I literally went through it, and it's gonna be hard times. There's gonna be times that you want to give up, but keep working. It's always a road that is different for other people, and there's always you're always gonna find some way to make it the best situation. Uh, Work your ass off. Don't care what nobody say. Hey, listen, and these high schools, man, I got blessed to be in the ACC, but I played a lot of low divisions. They want to say it's low division, but I played a lot of great players that played there.
Mm, mm,
So,
mm.
like with this low division stuff or whatever, it doesn't matter, man. If you go out there and play, they gonna recognize you somehow, some way. I promise you that. And it's easy to say when I'm in this situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm in the ACC, one of the best competition. But man, I played against. So we had non-scheduled games supposedly against lower division schools, and I'm telling you, they came to work, and we lost to a few of them, man. And I just want to cause not everyone's gifted to have a blessing or a situation to get noticed by the highest school. So I just want to say, don't worry about the name. If you really believe what you're gonna believe in, and really believe how you put so much work in, it happens. And one thing I can say, you can work as much as you want and work how hard you want, but you gotta have confidence. You gotta do it. You gotta have confidence to do it. You can work out as 10 times harder than LeBron, but when you go out there and you have no confidence, it doesn't matter. So just have as much confidence as you can, and enjoy life, because it goes fast. It definitely goes fast, man.
Said, man. Well said. Well said. Yo, so thank you again for coming on to the Run Up series, man. I love you, man. Love your family, man. Definitely wish you all the best. Continue to be safe out there. Hold the family down. Hopefully we'll be out of this, virus soon. And we got some things. The Run got some things planned for the ATL area once this is a wrap. So I'll definitely be checking you once we're down there. All right, man. Nothing but love, brother.
Hey, man, salute to you. Thank you for having me on here. Hey, keep running them up, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love too, man.